another episode of Katie's Corner. Today we have a special guest joining us for an insightful conversation as we round out our month on nonprofit and grassroots organizations here in the Columbus area. I am thrilled to introduce Ranisha Warren, the president and founder of Giant Killer Nation LLC. Welcome, Ranisha.
Thank you, Katie. I am so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me on your platform.
So I am super interested in learning about Giant Killer Nation because I first met you through Bags of Hope, a free store out in Pataskala, and that is somehow intertwined with Giant Killer Nation, or like GKN is what I've heard you refer to it as. Yes, GKN.
Yes, so GKN is our nickname, but yeah, Giant Killer Nation. Yeah, that's how we met through Bags of Hope, and it is a free store and pantry, and like you said, it's out in Pataskala. And so from the very beginning, start of Giant Killer Nation, we've always had an existence with the church, and then also the world. We like to call ourselves a bridge. And so what Bags of Hope was at the time was something that I got to start at Summit Station United Methodist Church. It's a blessing. They had a open basement, and they were just so loving and giving me an opportunity to start a vision that I had that for that place, which was a free store and pantry that would be open to anyone, and we wouldn't have process a registration process, or nor was there a need to judge people. Like, so it's more relational. The people that serve there don't think they're any better off than the people who come and utilize the resources.
I got you. So Giant Killer Nation would kind of be the overhead where Beck and then Begs the Hope kind of comes underneath that as a way to um build, and like just as a way, as a project almost, but not a project.
So for Giant Killer Nation is definitely a project. I would like to say think that what we do is initiate programs that have have the potential to be effective in the community, and that will be the word I'm looking for, sustaining, that has sustainability. And so what we do is we implement programs in communities, and we'll partner with anyone that wants to work with us. So at this particular time, there was a church that had a need for outreach ministry. And so they reached out and said, hey, what if you bring what you're doing on the streets and combine that with leading a outreach ministry here? And so there was a partnership and an understanding. Hey, it's going to be our projects and the things that we're already doing in combination with a ministry component.
So yeah, let me um go ahead and tie that in with, so what is the mission and vision behind Giant Killer Nation? I mean, we've talked about free stores, but what is it that you're trying to do?
Certainly, certainly. So our mission first is important to know where the concept came from. It is based off the biblical account of of David and Goliath, the story of David and Goliath. And so thus we our mission is to empower, to uplift communities, especially middle class and lower class families. We're driven by a vision of a future where every individual, regardless of race or the background, has an opportunity to thrive. I see you reflecting in your head, but I remember we had a conversation, and we were talking about what is the aim of Giant Killer Nation, and you just said something that resonated, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that. But you said, we need to create resilient community community, and it's through impactive initiatives. And so basically, we just want to address the diverse needs of the community, and we want to inspire lasting change. We want to inspire giant killers.
This is really inspirational, truly inspiring the way you talking about um changing the situations, not so much the people.
Right.
So there's got to be a strong list of core values that supports this mission and vision. So what are some of the core values that guide Giant Killer Nation in your endeavors?
Absolutely. I mean, it's in everything we do. It's the core, the heart of everything we do is to prioritize empathy and understanding. I mean, really understanding the challenges that our communities face. And they're always gonna be different. I mean, you'll go from one community to the next, and their needs are going to be vastly different. And so we understand that inclusivity is valuable, is crucial. We believe in the strengths of diversity. Diversity is very important. God created all of us differently with different gifts to bring to the table. And so I say we start there, and then we realize that it's in our integrity, it's in the way we walk as an organization, it's how we present ourselves, and just trying to be mindful of our actions, committed to all types of, or committed to nothing but ethical practices, and trying to be the difference maker and the difference setter. And Katie, I've said this a little bit earlier. For us, collaboration is everything. It's the key to us. We will work with anybody that wants to work with us. So we don't sit on our resources. We don't hide what we know, and we pride ourselves with bringing people up with us. If you're hanging around Giant Killer Nation and you're still stuck in the same rut, 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road, then we're doing something wrong. And so we pride ourselves with helping you level up, whatever that looks like for you, whatever establishing and creating and helping you become the best you, overcoming obstacles. That is our focus.
That is amazing. And I truly love the my viewers, and I know you have me and you have had multiple conversations around my views on inclusivity and um my perspectives as a disabled person accessing community support. And so it warms my heart to know that you actively seek out people where they're at and help them to get to the next step. It may not be the final step, but it's going to be the next step.
Right.
And so now I'm sure our viewers they're curious about how does this work on a day-to-day level? Like you are talking about some giant changes in people's life, but yet at the same time, you're doing it on a day-to-day. So, what is Giant Killer Nation's organization's focus? What is its focus? And how do you operate? Talk a little bit about that, if you will.
That's a great question, Katie. Thank you. So in 2019, I was given the opportunity to create this organization on paper. It was a class project to get out of my undergraduate program. And I'm so thankful because the task was simple. It was to create a program that you could use in a church structure as well as outside of the church walls. And at that time, I was focused on working with teenagers. I wanted to create a summer program that was individualistic. But then COVID hit right before we wanted to even try to launch that summer program. And we had to switch gears. We noticed right off the bat that our middle class families were the ones being hit the hardest. They weren't able to retain to get services, government services, because they made too much money, but yet they didn't have a contingency plan for a shutdown like the one we had. And so everybody in the community that I was working in at that serving in at that time, which was Pataskala, um, was affected in some way, and then the rising prices of everything. Uh, However, you it wasn't as easy to go for these families that I'm talking about for them to go and receive pantry assistance. Some, for the most part, that they had paperwork, and for some, it was just embarrassing to say that you needed assistance. In our pride. And for some, the rejection, because if you made $1 more, even though we were in a shutdown, pantries had to turn people down. And then there was that program, Farmers to Families, where you could receive food boxes that were coming off these semis. And we really wanted to be a part of that. So we joined with the Lions Club International, and umbrellaed under them, partnered with them so that we could be a nonprofit organization. And I just remember just the joy and the happiness that was being expressed from people in the neighborhoods, because we weren't requiring any registration process. There were no lines. You drove in, we gave you as many boxes as you want. And it was just so contagious where people were like, yo, I know this whole neighborhood that needs this help. Give me 20 boxes. We'll tell them we work for Giant Killer Nation. And I must have had about 50 employees that day that just God sent people that helped us get deliver or distribute over 1,500 boxes of, and I mean, these boxes were pretty big, full of refrigerated items, dairy, cheese, everything that people, milk, cheese, everything that people were needing at the time, as the prices were just out of the roof. And so that was initially our focus. Uh, is to see what the needs are, where our feet are, and one thing about us is that we have never limited ourselves to a specific area. It's always been, is there a need? You can call us. If we can work it out, we definitely will be there. And if we can't be there in person, we've always tried to share our resources and share our partners, and create a network of people and organizations that are doing God's work. Definitely, if we're out there doing God's work, we want to be working with you as well.
It sounds like Giant Killer Nation is making a significant impact on our community here in Columbus. And it is fascinating to me that you started this operation at a time when nobody knew what they were doing because everything got shut down. Everything. And so my question is, as a leader, how do you address the challenges that you face and avoid burnout?
So, in order to call yourself a giant killer, there's just some procedures, some things you have to do. So, um, overcoming obstacles is our number one priority. They're gonna come. It's figuring out solutions that work, and recognizing when you have to seek help from others. So for me though, I learned this process in school here recently about the leadership pause. It's just stopping. You know, You don't have to utilize every minute of the day. In fact, you shouldn't. And so I try to be more intentional and be more mindful of saying, hey, I need 5 minutes to myself. Hey, I've done as much as I need to today. I'm going to just turn this over and let the Lord work it out for me. I'm going to take this time to breathe and pause and just kind of reflect, what's been going great and what can I do more purposefully in the future. And by the way, I want to do a plug because plugs are good. I want to plug out this book, The Leadership Pause. It's by Chris L. Johnson, The Leadership Pause. Even if you're not a leader, but think maybe you got some leadership skills, I would invite you to check out this book. I did not write it. I do not know the author personally. I'm not even plugging this in to try to get her to shop me out. No, it really did make me realize that it's okay to inhale, exhale, pause, and personally, just in order for to become transformational for this world, you have to have some transformation inside you, and so slowing it down will definitely aid in that.
You are perfect for sharing that book. It fits right in with the theme of our show because we want to share these reading materials to help change people, their views, their thoughts, and just to help educate. But absolutely crucial insights, Ranisha. So before we wrap up, can you leave our viewers with a message or a motto that you would say encapsulates the spirit of Giant Killer Nation?
So our mantra has always been that hope is in our hands and that it is our obligation to distribute it to everyone. But let me tell you something that lately it's been pounding me in my sleep that our motto is overcoming obstacles, empowering a nation of giant killers. And so we believe that the strength of our community and we let me say I messed that up. We believe in the strength of our community and the potential for positive change. Together and only together, we can create a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
What an inspiring journey, not to mention inspiring words. I love the idea that you are creating a nation of giant killers. And so to our viewers, be sure to check out Ranisha Warren and Giant Killer Nation. Check out their initiatives and join the movement for positive change. Become a giant killer, right?
Become a giant killer. Absolutely. We would love to have you. Anybody, everyone. You don't have to believe in God, but certainly God believes in you. You can still join the nation. We'll be glad to have you.
Well, thank you. And this has been Katie Glover with Katie's Corner, signing off. Until next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. I love you.